Hey and welcome to my garage. Today this guy arrived, the BarkBuster, and we're gonna install it on the GS. Let's have a look. Alright, why would you get a BarkBuster? Here we have the standard protection for the GS and this is really designed to have good protection against the elements, right? It blocks the wind, rain, keeps your hands protected so that the heated grips can keep you warm. But in case of a fall, this one just bends, right? It is very soft. And what is the problem with that? The levers. So I'm taking the GS more and more off-road, and I really don't want to throw over the bike and lose one of the levers. If you're in the middle of nowhere, 20 miles away on a challenging dirt road, it's really hard to ride back home if you don't have a clutch. The other parts are already very protected. And this is the one thing that I still want to change. For this, enter the BarkBuster. Alright, so let's get this guy out. And this is the main part of the protection, right? This is a solid aluminum bar that would go right here to protect the handlebars, but also your hand, right? It's called BarkBuster for a reason. In case you have any close contacts with trees, this is supposed to save your hands. Also very useful. All right, quick look at the instructions. That is how it works. You get the handlebar end off, add this extra clamp, and then we should be golden. Let's see if we have enough room for these beefy clamps to make sure everything fits, and then we can get started. All right, tools. Working on any BMW, you should be used to have a set of Torx bits, different sizes, and then you have the Allen bits for the BarkBuster bits, 2 ratchets. We should be good to go. Just add a little bit of Loctite, and that will prevent the screws from loosening up and going anyway. I think that's all we need. Let's get started. All right, step 1, let's remove the old guard. And you can see when I screw, right, this is pretty high quality plastic, but it's still relatively soft. So this just comes off. This comes off with the standard screwdriver from BMW. And then later on we can also remove this. For that we have to remove the mirror. So they just twist off and then you can remove the plastic bit. Let's see if we want to do that. And now I will go here on the side and remove that. Let's see how tight this is. Not too bad. Make sure you don't drop anything. So we have the bar end, spacer, and the original screw. And you see this bit just comes off. Alright, so I have the bar end again. They provide this little spacer that just goes in there. New screw, and then this mounts all together like so. So I will remove this later again and then put it back together properly probably, but I just want to get a feeling for where this ends and then how the setup will be like. Just making this finger tight. Cool. And for the protection, you probably want to align that pretty close with your lever. But if you have it way over, you would still hit it and probably break it. So I usually have it just slightly under it, so that in a fall down, this part will hit first and gets probably bent up a little bit, that this one has enough room to be protected. All right, stays in place and now we can work. This is a number 4 Allen key. You need this to get these guys apart. If my fingers would do the right thing. So you have a little clamp here. As we have this lined up, we find the right spot and see if it all fits. Let's make sure we don't pinch any cables or push them out of the way. Alright, so let's put this in place. The long of the two screws goes on the bottom. And then we just have to put together. Again, make sure that none of the cables get in the way, so that it's getting lifted, but nothing's pinched. It's excellent. This one on top. Just making it finger tight for now, so we can still put it into position. So you can go almost flush to the mirror, which is awesome. I bet they measure that a lot of times. So after just finger tight, from the other side you just get this screw. Is it an Allen 5? Yo. So again, probably put some Loctite on there, so it stays in place for a long time. But right now I'm just trying out the fit, show you. One screw here. And I can probably even leave this in place so I don't have a plastic gap here. This protective bar goes around. And then we put a cover over here that does the wind and weather protection. Let's have a look at that. Alright, you can buy all sorts of variations. This one is the VPS, a black. They're like a similar quality plastic than the stock, like the stock ones. I would say feels maybe a little bit cheaper, but the nice thing is these come in a separate pack and you can buy them separately. So if you damage them for $36.90, you can replace them. It also comes with this. The idea is that you screw this in here, and you have two positions, so you can mount them high or you can mount them lower. Made in Australia, nice. Alright, so you can have it here for less wind protection, here for more, right? Or you leave it away completely. So I will leave it off for now, because I think I will change the color of this guy. But more to that later. Mounting wise, this looks pretty straightforward. We have 4 little screws and 4 big ones. So let's mount it and then have a look. Alright, final step. This one just goes here. If you put it into the corner, then it lines up nicely with the 2 holes. It doesn't say in the instruction, but you want to use the little ones with the bigger head. And you need a Phillips actually. It's a little bit weird. It's like nothing really else on the bike uses it. So it's not great in the way of building a toolkit for adventure riding. But then again, if you break these off, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, you just screw this guy in, and there you go. This one is a little bit unorthodox, where you just screw into the aluminum bar. But it holds very tight. Probably don't even need any Loctite, because there's quite some pressure on that. And there you go. Installation complete. And like I said, you can add this guy to have it in this mode, so like in small or in a high setting, to have more protection from the elements. I'm gonna vinyl wrap that so it's red, so it goes with the rest of the bike. But that's it. All you have to do is tighten up the screws, maybe use Loctite on this guy and up here, if you can see that. I don't think you need it with these two, and of course the great thing is everything is easily replaceable. And then the question of course is, what do we do with the OEM piece, right? Like we have the flexible plastic here, there's a screw, right, and then there's these guys. And if you store it separately, after a couple of months, years, you might not really know what is what anymore. So what I like to do is get some tape, and then just use a bit of it. Masking tape works great because it doesn't leave any residue, but it's strong enough to keep in place. So put it over the screw, so the screw is in here, doesn't fall out. And we do the same here, and then you can put it in storage and you will never wonder where the screws are. If you want to put it back into a ram shape, if you want to sell it, God knows what. This way you have it all completed and you don't lose anything. And for anyone that ever lost BMW parts, probably this screw itself is 20 bucks. The spacer is probably another 10 bucks. So you really don't want to lose this stuff. It really adds up. And now it goes in the storage box. That's it. Well, and there you have it. BarkBuster successfully installed. Now it will be really hard to break off your levers when you go off-roading. Nicely protected, and you can make the protection like this much taller. And you can change these for other models. This is the VPS. I hope this was a little bit helpful. I hope it gives you something to do during the COVID-19 lockdown. That's also why this hair is so crazy. Thank you, virus. But yeah, that's all I got right now. Ride safe and bye.